Behind the fences here at ConQuest Deer Farm, you're going to find the best whitetail herd that's creating the best scents in the hunting industry. But what makes ConQuest Scents unique is we own our own deer herd, and we collect those scents from those deer, and then we manufacture it right here on the farm, and we ship it from the farm directly to you. Welcome back to ConQuest Deer Farm, located in Davison, Michigan. You know, we've been blessed to be able to raise some of the largest typical whitetails in the deer farming industry, world record class whitetails. And from that herd, we've also been able to produce and collect some of the very best scent that has ever been found in the hunting industry. By owning our own deer, we're very unique. Most of the larger scent companies don't own any deer. They have to purchase their urines. With ours, it's collected, it's manufactured, it's packaged, so it becomes much fresher. We have much more control over what happens with it, and we know that it's more effective out in the field. Well, good morning. It's kind of a big day on the farm. We are going to actually go and dart and move Justice off the farm. He's our big 4-year-old breeder buck. Always a little nervous starting breeder bucks just because they're the best bucks on the farm. Hopefully it goes down good. So Nate's actually loading up the tranquilizing dart right now, dropping in the gun. The hard part about this morning is it's raining out, and it's raining pretty good. So that has an effect on the gun, or potentially has an effect on the dart going through the air. Sometimes the deer don't want to move well, or they move erratic because of the rain. And the bottom line is we're going to get soaking wet. We'll take you through the process. We'll load him actually on a stock trailer. He's actually going to head to a ranch here in Michigan and live out the rest of his life there. We're done with him here. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. This dart gun, which will be 32 years old in a month, 32 years I've been raising white-tailed deer. So you can see it's kind of beat up and worn. But it works off a cartridge, a ramset cartridge. 22 cartridge basically. So it puts the pressure in behind the dart and blows the dart out. We have an adjustment knob here on the end for distance and depth. A lot of the new guns have gone to CO2. I still like this because I know how it shoots. I know the distance it shoots. Kind of becomes a part of you, so it just is more automatic when you're out darting, but rain's picking up, so it's going to make it interesting. So what just happened was he's down, you can see him laying there, but he's not completely out. So I actually just took a syringe and snuck up behind him and poked him with a syringe and gave him more sedative to put him further under. So we'll give him another 5 minutes or so here, and then he should be completely out. But the hard part sneaking up on something like that is they're aware enough that if they jump up and go, they're also wobbly. You don't know if they're going to turn on you and come back at you, or if they're just going to wander off. Luckily, he just laid there. He was watching me, and his ears were moving, but I think he was just out enough. He couldn't figure out how close I was to him. Just give him some time. we are going to actually go and dart and move Justice off the farm. He's our big 4-year-old breeder buck. Always a little nervous starting breeder bucks just because they're the best bucks on the farm. The hard part about this morning is it's raining out, and it's raining pretty good. And the bottom line is we're going to get soaking wet. What just happened was he's down, you can see him laying there, but he's not completely out. So I actually just took a syringe and snuck up behind him and poked him with a syringe and gave him more sedative to put him further under. Just give him some time. So what we're going to do right now is, by law in Michigan, every deer by 12 months old has to have 2 tags, one in each ear. One is a federal ID number. Most of them are electronic. Sometimes they're metal, but most are electronic. And that way we can identify it. But then it's also a farm tag. Well, our farm tags we do by color every year. And every 7 years that color comes back up. But the ranch that it's going to also has its own system. So we're actually going to put one of their farm tags in place of the farm tag that we have in its ear. And we're going to put their farm tag right back into the same hole. There's the hole. Click it in, and we are done. It's interesting, what a lot of people don't realize is that as they shed their velvet, they actually eat it. It's full of vitamins and minerals. A lot of people have heard of velvet antler pills. Actually works very well for inflammation, but that is when you actually harvest the antler when it's full of blood and the velvet is holding all that in. But as they shed, it actually gives them a lot of nutrients back into their system. A lot of us feel that it kicks their testosterone levels in gear and gets them going and getting ready for the rut as it's coming up for the breeding season. We just put it in the muscle That way it's a slow release. And he wakes up a little bit slower, a little calmer. ConQuest Scents is a 100-acre deer farm, but when we discovered EverCalm, we were actually a smaller family farm. And just through our worker handling all of the deer, running through the handling facility, we had to vaccinate and medicate them. He got all of the scents and smells, all of them, from the deer on him. And he went out bow hunting that night, and I kind of said, well, you know, you better change into your hunting gear. He said, I don't have time. So he just went out in his work clothes, but he had diesel fuel, he had grease on those clothes, but he was covered with the spit, the sweat, the hair, the pee, the poop, everything of all those perfect smells from deer, and lots of them. And when he went out, what we found was all of the wild deer, as they smelled him, were attracted to him. And he could stand up, he could sit down. He called me on my cell phone and says, you aren't gonna believe this. They look at me, they kind of smell, and then they go chasing each other. And that's when we realized, when we were handling them and we were becoming all covered with their scents and smells from their bedding areas, that was very soothing. It was a safety smell. It was a comforting smell. It was an attracting smell. And it just calmed the deer down. And so just kind of by accident, we started to realize that we have something unique in our deer herd that all wild deer are attracted to and feel safe around. Now we had to figure out how do we collect it and then how do we manufacture it. Well, that's pretty easy. You bring a group of deer in, you collect all the scents and smells out of their bedding area, you blend that all together, and then we were able to package that in liquid form, and then we came out with the wax stick formula, which totally revolutionized the deer scent industry. The hunting industry over the years has kind of been taught that an ammonia smell to urine sense is okay. Well, young deer are attracted to it. But if you're hunting trophy bucks, mature bucks, they know better. They know that that's old, it's spoiled. So we realized that if we take the liquid and we encapsulate it into wax, it's a natural holder. We don't have to put a preservative in it. We can collect the urine, we can immediately put it into the wax, we pour it into the deodorant stick, we seal it shut, and we put it in a Ziploc bag. Now it's airtight. Nothing can change with that urine. It stays stable until it's opened up, wiped out, and it evaporates before it goes bad. That is what has made the wax stick formula so popular with hunters, and it's made our scent more effective in the woods because it's fresher and it smells like real deer right at the moment you put it out. What makes EverCalm unique is that it's an all-season scent, so you can put it out all summer long and you can get deer to actually come to an area that they get comfortable with, which is where you're going to be hunting. But it also is easy to use, so as you want to go in during the season, wipe it on your boots, wipe it on your arm sleeves, and you make scent trails as you're going in. And once you're in your hunting area, you can wipe it on trees, rocks, branches, anything in that environment, and it simply starts to evaporate out of that wax formula, and you create this area of attractiveness in the area that you're hunting. One of the things that we're actually starting to hear from hunters is how they're using the EverCalm stick with their trail cams. They're setting up their trail cameras and then they're wiping the EverCalm on trees or branches out in front of it, and they're getting better pictures of all of the deer. Not just the bucks, but even the does and the fawns, so they can start to get a head count, they can start to see what the antler growth is doing, they can see how the fawn growth is doing. It's really helping them to understand what's in their hunting area and identify what are we going to start to do and see once the season comes. Behind our EverCalm, which is our #1 seller, the Hunter's Pack and VS1 EverCalm Combo Pack is our #2 seller. Here's a reason why. EverCalm is used all season long, and it gives that area of comfort and safety and brings the deer in because there's already a herd of deer there. Even though they don't see them, they smell them. And so then, in the pre-rut, rut, and post-rut, you're putting a doe that's in heat into that group. Now the bucks are going to look for that doe which is in the group. So by combining those two scents, it becomes very effective, in fact more effective than having them separate and by themselves. Did you know EverCalm is the #1 requested scent by hunters? It is offered in liquid, aerosol bombs, and the Scent Fire Vaporizer. Order yours today at ConQuest Scents. Hi, my name is Doug Roberts from ConQuest Scents and ConQuest Deer Farm. I want to introduce you to a new product that we're coming out with. It's called ThermaPads. Now I understand you're all thinking that there's wafers out there that are scented, and that's true. This is different. These ThermaPads are actually scented with real scent, EverCalm, Rutting Buck, and VS1, and they can be hung on branches throughout the season anywhere in your hunting area, and it simply emits the scent out. And they're 100% biodegradable, so if you forget them or lose them in the woods, no worries. It simply turns into dirt and falls away. Here's what makes it very unique and makes it a different category. You can also heat these in butane heated scent dispensers, and they can be heated all season long. But what's really good about this is they can be heated in cold weather. That's the one thing the hunting industry's really struggled with. How do we get scent out into the wind in cold temperatures? Well, ConQuest Scents has just fixed that problem for you. As it works and as the scent emits out of it, it simply loses its color, and you know when to replace the ThermaPad. Look for it at ConQuestScents.com on our website. Let's take it out into the field now, and we'll show you all the different ways that we feel ThermaPads can be used. When we're talking about the new product that ConQuest Scents is coming out with, the ThermaPads, what makes the ThermaPad very unique is that they can be put in butane heated scent dispensing devices. I want to show you a couple new ones that'll be coming out on the market. This one is a lithium rechargeable battery unit. Now there's a little button here, if you hold it down, you'll see that there's a bunch of little red lights that come on. And we can simply slide the ThermaPad in it, up there. But what makes this unique is that it can also be used and worked by remote. So when I go to push the on button, those little lights will actually turn green. And then I know it's heating, and then I can put it on pause so I can start and stop it from up to 40 yards away from my tree stand or my blind. The other thing you'll notice, it's quarter thread on the bottom. So you can actually screw tripods onto it, camera arms onto it, and get it up off the ground or hang it from trees and branches. The other unit that I want to show you is a butane heated scent dispensing unit. Again, simply slide the ThermaPad into the top, but what makes this unique is you fill it yourself as a hunter, and you simply push it in, get it in there, push it down, and you refill it and recharge the unit as needed on your own while you're hunting. You simply take the switch, turn it on, click it, it ignites, and you'll see the flame right in here underneath. And this is heating all the time until you run out of propane or lose the color in your pad, and you know the scent is used up. Again, this can be quarter threaded. So again, we can take and we can screw things onto the bottom of it, such as that. Now this is actually a stake that'll go up to 40 inches. I can stick that in the ground anywhere I want in my hunting area to attract deer to this spot. When we started selling VS1 and EverCalm, We were nothing more than a small family deer farm. We put in so many long hours that we started to wonder, would it even be worth doing? During the recession in the late 2000s, hunters started to realize just how well EverCalm really worked. From does to bucks, they were filling their freezers while they're losing their jobs. This is why EverCalm is more important than ever. EverCalm brings in more deer with ease, giving you the opportunity to harvest more deer. And this means a freezer full of food for your family. You have believed in ConQuest Scents, and we believe in you. From our family here at ConQuest Scents, we want to truly thank you for your support, and we wish God's blessings on you and your family as you go through this fall.